And welcome back, y'all. Hello, and good evening. Happy Monday. Hopefully you had a great weekend and are having and had a great Monday. So glad that you are here back on the show. So letting go is what we're talking about. It can be scary and it can be a challenging process. It requires us to really confront our fears, our doubts, our insecurities. And unfortunately, there are so many myths that are out there about letting go that it can cause the process, make the process even harder. In this episode, in letting go, we're going to talk about, what are those myths? What's true? What's not true about letting go? We're going to take a deeper dive, and we'll explore with me tonight some of the common myths about letting go and how do we overcome them. If you're new to me, I'm Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower. I encourage you to take charge of your health, your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're opening up that next level, y'all. Avoiding complications, connecting, and creating the life that we've always wanted. Here in 2023, we're excited that this is the year we're going to make that happen. Also, if you're new to me, go ahead and put new in the comments because I'd love to give you some shout outs and give you a hand clap and some music to say, hey, welcome to the channel. If you also have questions as we go throughout the night, make sure that you put those in the comments as well so that I can know that that's a question that we will get to and that we will answer for you. If you have not already done so, let me hop over to our channel. This is our channel. Of course, that's the one that we're doing right now, the fact and myth. But if you scroll through, you'll see all the different videos that we've done, our diabetes videos, our mindset videos. We've even done some videos down there for the entrepreneur. Make sure you get out there and that you get involved and you begin watching those. We've done, oh wow, what does it say up here? Wow, 391 videos, y'all. Can you believe it? 391 that we've done, and we are excited to continue to do those as we get into future episodes and continue to give more offerings for the show. So thank you for being out there. Thank you for your support for all that you do. We've talked a bit about the things that we're doing, and we're talking about letting go. Letting go is what we're doing over the next several videos, several episodes that we have. If you're out there, I see someone out there, give us a thumbs up, say hello, and actually let me hop over. Let's see, I could put some stuff here. Here you go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. There you go. I forgot to do that earlier in the show. But if you're here, we want to know that you're here. We want to engage with you, and we want to have some fun, right? So as we're educating, as we're learning, we're also building the community, building the show, and we want to have some fun as we go through the show. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So I was telling you guys, or I told you guys several weeks ago, and this is where this all came from, right? So I went whitewater rafting, and all the things that they said that would happen on the video, that little, not the promo video, but the video that they do about the techniques and what to do if you fall off the raft and all that stuff. Everything that they said was going to happen happened to me. And I'm sitting there during the little video, 7-8 minutes or whatever long it was. And I'm saying to myself, y'all, what are the chances that I would be the one that falls off the raft? And wouldn't you know it? Yeah, we're going down. And on that third time, because it got more rough, right? So the rapids are getting rougher and rougher as we go. And on that third time, boof, there I go, out of the raft. My wife was trying to hold on to me, but she just couldn't. She grabbed onto my belt and my pants, but she just couldn't hold me because the raft was like up on its side like this, right? And I was in the back. Left side, and it was up on the right side, and boom, I fell in. And I held on to that perimeter rope that they have around it, And that's what they tell you to do in the video. So I grabbed onto the rope. The other part of the video, though, said that if you're if you're holding on to it, you got to be careful, because if you're not careful, you're going to go under the raft. And I was under the raft, could not breathe, and I would not let go. And the guy, I heard them, they kept yelling, "Let go, let go." When I ran out of air, that's when I let go. And as I came back and I was talking and thinking and going through and journaling, journaling, I do journal, and I'm journaling about this thing, I started wondering, what are the things in our lives that we don't let go of? What are the things that are hindering us? What are the things that are keeping us back? What are the things that we continue to hold on to, despite the fact that those are the things, y'all, that are actually causing the problem? Because the raft was on top of me, right? And it was the thing that was preventing me from taking that inhaling, taking that breath. And instead of taking the breath, I was actually swallowing water. But even though the raft was the thing that was preventing me from doing that, I would not let go. And so what are the things that we don't let go of in our lives? And so we talked about letting go of the past. We talked about letting go of fear, which was the last episode. And tonight we're going to talk about some of the myths. So as we're going through the next several weeks, we're going to talk about other things that we need to let go of. But what are some of those myths that we may have about letting go? Because remember, our thought process is what dictates our feelings about things, and our feelings dictate our activity or our actions. Our actions cause us to do things, and we get results. So what are those things that happen in our lives? What are our thought processes, and what are those myths that we may have in our thoughts? Hey, Florence, how are you doing? Let's say hi to Florence. Hey, Florence, glad that you're here. She says, "Good evening, Dr. Wood." So glad that you're here to join us, Florence. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. So myth number one is that letting go means giving up. That's the first myth. And it's actually one of the biggest ones, because there are these things in our lives, right? Whether it's a memory from, we talked about letting go of the past, whether it's a fear that we have. We think that sometimes when we let go, that means that we are giving up, that we have turned in the towel, we've thrown in the towel, and we are a failure. But in reality, letting go is about releasing what no longer serves us. Let me say that again. It is about releasing what no longer serves us. It's not that you have failed. It's that you've realized that there are these things that you have been holding on to, like me holding on to the perimeter rope on the raft. These things that you have that are no longer serving you. And you have now understood that you've got to make room for something else. Because as long as you hold on to that, you can't proceed. You can't move forward. You can't improve. You can't get better. You can't grow. You can't expand. So it's not that you are giving up. It's actually that you are realizing that there has to be room for other things. And so you are releasing the thing that's holding you back from achieving those goals that you may have. It is not a sign of weakness, but it's actually, y'all, a sign of strength, right? Because you have now processed. You've dealt with this thing. You faced it. And you're like, okay, yeah. I know it's there. I know that happened, but I gotta release it. I gotta make room. I've got to let go so that now I can breathe. I can take that big breath that's going to push me forward. So letting go is not giving up. It is actually realizing that you've got to make room for things. You got to make room for things that are coming to you. We got to make room for new activities. You got to make room for new people. You've got to make room for new successes. And you're saying, yeah, okay, I need to let go of this thing, whatever it is. So that's number one. Letting go does not mean that you are giving up. It is a sign of strength. Myth number two, letting go is a one-time event. I'm going to pause there. So letting go is a one-time event. That's a myth. Myth number two, that letting go is a one-time event. It is not a one-time event. In fact, there are going to be things that remind you of whatever that was that you let go of. There are going to be situations. There are going to be people. There's going to be a smell. There's going to be a sound. There's going to be some deja vu that you encounter. There's going to be a word. There's going to be a song. And it's going to take you right back there. If you've had a problem in your job, if you made a mistake in your job, there's going to be another project, another situation, another report, another person that's going to come into your space that reminds you of what happened on the job. If you've had some trauma in your life, there's going to be a person that you see. There's going to be a word. There's going to be a situation. There's going to be a light, a mood light. There's going to be some food. There's going to be something that reminds you of where you were. And each time that happens, you're going to have to remember the process that you took to get over that. So it's not a one-time event. It's often a process that requires an ongoing effort and ongoing commitment. That doesn't mean that it is as difficult each time, but we all run into triggers. And those triggers will take us back to where we were before. And it's not something that you forget once and then it's gone. Right? We need to let go of these things each time. And the hope is that as you develop better tools and as you continue to grow and expand and as you continue to enrich your life and fill it with other things, that those triggers are triggers that you will be able to deal with more quickly as you move forward. So letting go, myth number two, is not a one-time event. Well, the myth is that it is a one-time event. The truth is that it's not a one-time event. Okay? Letting go, myth number three, means forgetting the past. And this is kind of like one, right? So like myth number one says, letting go means giving up, right? That we've put it behind us and it's gone. This one is that we're forgetting those things that happened. And sometimes we think that if we forget, it means it did not happen. But in reality, the past is a part of who we are. It is what it is what helped us to develop into the person that we are. And the past has provided valuable lessons and insights for us. And so the thing that we do, the people that we are right now are, these people are a culmination of the things that have happened to us to this point. And so each of our experiences from the past is a part of who we are right now. And letting go is not about erasing that, but about releasing the emotions and getting rid of those limiting beliefs and those patterns that no longer serve us. To be said again. So letting go is not about erasing the past, but it's about releasing the emotions, the beliefs, those limiting beliefs, and the patterns of behavior that no longer serve us. So when we talk about letting go, it does not mean forgetting, because in us right now are all those things that have happened to this point. It's about acknowledging that this happened. And in some cases, honoring the past while creating space for new experiences and for new growth. Yes? That's what we're talking about when we talk about letting go. So myth number 3 is that letting go means forgetting the past, and that is not true. It is not about forgetting the past. Myth number 4, letting go is easy. And y'all, we need to park here for a little bit. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you that this was a hard one for me, because I thought in my past that when I let go of something, oh yeah, it's gone, it's done, it's easy. And you know, the truth was that the easier I pretended that it was, those things, the more difficult they were, because I didn't really deal with them. I repressed them. I pushed them down. I tried to forget them. But letting go can be a challenging process. We have to confront fears. We have to confront doubts, insecurities. We have to look at ourselves honestly and deal with all of the different emotions that come up as we think about some of these things that have happened. It can cause pain. It causes tears. And it is painful to release some of the things that were once important to us. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be that we've got to move from where we are physically. And so those are difficult things for us to kind of deal with. But the difficulty of letting go does not mean that it's not worth it. The reward of letting go far outweighs the challenges. Now, once again, I'm parked right here, y'all, because I've had some things happen in my life where I didn't believe that the reward outweighed the challenges. And there are sometimes when, if you're online, right, if you're in our social sphere, you see people talking about things, and you may even see me in some of my shorts and some of the things that I talk about. And everyone is presenting the polished version, right? That's what we do, right? The highlight clips. When things are good, when things have gotten better, when we've achieved, when we've been successful, that's what we're presenting. But we don't show the struggle on the way to the success. We don't show the tears that come as we get to the place we want to go. We don't talk about the friends that fell away, or the people that no longer talk about us, or the bankruptcy, or the failed business, or the number of times we had to write a book. Right? We don't talk about that. So what we see are those, right, it's the polish. And so behind all of the things that you see that people are putting out, behind all of that is a story. And the story may not be a totally devastating, dramatic story, but there's a story, there's a process. And I'm here to tell you that letting go of some of the things that are in our lives, it is not easy. because some of it is comforting. Even though, and I'll go back to my raft, even though the raft was preventing me from breathing, y'all, I didn't let go. Because it's hard. Because it's the familiar, it's the known. So letting go is not easy. And then here's a myth. Letting go means we have to do it alone. Letting go means that we have to do it alone. Sometimes it seems like we have to do it alone. It seems like we're going and there's nobody else on that journey with us. Right? So you're at your house and you're crying, or you're depressed, or you're whatever the emotion is, you're angry, and it feels like we're in the struggle by ourselves. Do you know the reality is that there are people out there that are at that time experiencing the same things that you're experiencing? They may not have the same situation, but we're growing together. There are people out there. And so finding a space, finding people that are like us, people that have, there are people who've had broken relationships. There are people who've been in trauma. There are people who are not satisfied with their job. There are people who are holding on to doubt and insecurities and pain, and right. So people are holding on to all those things. And I can't tell you the number of times that I've said, hey, you know, I'm going through such and such. And somebody else said, hey, man, that's happening to me too. I remember picking up the phone and calling a couple of my friends and saying, hey, you know, I'm having this issue. And as we talked, found out that we're having similar issues. But what we tend to do is we tend to pull back, right? So rather than open up, we pull back from people and we stay in that space of aloneness. But that's not where we want to be. So those are 5 myths. 5 myths. Number 1, letting go means giving up. Number 2, letting go is a one-time event. Number 3, letting go means forgetting the past. Number 4, letting go is easy. And then number 5, letting go means we have to do it alone. So those are the myths. Those are the myths. And we're going to come back here in a minute. We're going to talk about, okay, how do we deal with those myths, right? How do we deal with those? What do we do now that we know those myths? Okay. Perfect place. Let me say, hey guys, if you're out there, go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you appreciate what we're doing here. This video, other videos that we've done. This is the 3rd video in this series. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more that are coming in, 3 or 4 that are going to be in this series about letting go. Okay. Letting go. And we'll put those in a playlist there on the channel, and make sure once again that you get over there to our to our YouTube channel and take a look. Okay, just look at all those videos that we have that are out there. Actually, let me do one more thing here. See if I can pull that up on my phone. Also, make sure that you get over to our website, and so I'm gonna see if I can pull that up here. Yeah, there it is. Pull it up on my phone. That's what that looks like. Dwayne Wood MD. Dwayne Wood MD. First thing is, if you get there, you can download our free resource there. If you click on the button that says free 7 keys to success, I won't click on that right now. So here's our Sugar Busters, right? So it's a wrap. You can sign up for our wait list for Sugar Busters that is coming up, and we'll announce that again. At the top, if you go, you can see our blog and lots of different things that we are talking about there, but diabetes and mindset and how to change, right? So the value, your value is undeniable. Never underestimate yourself. So lots of things that you can read over there. You can get over to our podcast as well. And those are all, it's called Do You Know with Dr. Dwayne Wood. Do You Know with Dr. Dwayne Wood. And then our Ready, Set, Grow program, Ready, Set, Grow. If you would like to be part of my group, if you would like to be part of my group as we try and work on getting unstuck. So more like the videos that we're doing, the mindset change that we're doing, the growing that we're doing, people want to get unstuck. And whether you're right now stuck in weight, you're having trouble with weight, you're having trouble with your blood sugars, you're having trouble with career, you're having wherever you're stuck, I want to be able to help you. And that's what Ready, Set, Grow is all about. So get over there and you can sign up right there on the website. All right. So we've talked about these myths. We've talked about these myths that about letting go. These myths about letting go. So what do we do? What do we do? How do we overcome these myths? How do we deal with these misconceptions about letting go? Okay. What are we going to do about them? Let's talk about a few things. Number one, you got to educate yourself. You got to start by learning about the myths. And that's what we started doing here tonight on the channel in this episode. What are those misconceptions that surround letting go? Because remember, your thought process dictates how you feel, and how you feel dictates your behavior. The behavior dictates your success. So understanding that there are these things that you may feel, these myths that are out there, okay? And you may not have processed them enough to put them in these words, but now you have the words that go with them, right? With these myths, at least these 5. Understanding that they're there, knowing that they're there, and begin processing them, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, some self-reflection. So take time. So those are 5 myths that I gave. There may be some others that you believe. There may be some mindset, some belief systems that you have. So take some time to identify any personal myths or misconceptions and examine where they come from. Right? So educate yourself that there are myths out there. What are some personal myths that I have? And then begin challenging them. Ask yourself, are these beliefs based on evidence, or are they just assumptions? Are these things that I've created in my mind? Because, we do that. Yeah. We create these places and we put rules to them that we've created ourselves. We've projected onto other people. And we've assumed and brought into us, into our thinking, into our sphere, into our space, things that are out there that are not true. So begin challenging them. Are they holding you back? Get support. So surround yourself with a system, a network of friends and family, people who may be experiencing the same thing, people who've overcome the things that we are trying to overcome, people who have dealt with the issues that we've dealt with or we are dealing with. Surround yourself with a support system. Practice self-compassion. Letting go is a difficult thing in some cases. It can be an emotional journey. And give yourself grace, give yourself compassion. Allow yourself to deal with emotions. Like I said, there are times when I have, quote unquote, let go of something, and I've done it so fast because I really just wanted to be done with it. And those things come back, y'all. They don't stay away, and they show up in some sideways kind of places, right? Have you ever had that happen? Where you thought you've dealt with something, you've done it, and you just, it's gone according to what you think. And it shows up somewhere else. That's because we hadn't really dealt with it, right? The next one is acceptance. Recognize that letting go, listen to this one, y'all, is a natural part of life. Letting go is a natural part of life. As we go through our lives, we will encounter things. Right? Can you imagine if we kept all the things that we encounter? We can't. So there are going to be things that we've got to let go of if we're going to move forward. And so developing the art of, the process of letting go of those things starts with acceptance. That it happens. And we've got to develop the process of dealing with it. And then celebrate your progress. Woo, I love this one. So acknowledge and celebrate the progress that you've made in letting go. Man, there are things that you've already dealt with. You've already let go of. Right? You are in a space right now, wherever you are, there are things that you've had to let go of, that you've already dealt with. So celebrate those. Give yourself a pat on the back. And as you make progress, those little pieces of space that you have created, they add up. Those little steps that you take, they add up. So any success that you've had, acknowledge it and celebrate it. Because when you do that, you make space and you encourage your brain, your mind, your body. Hey, let's keep going. Because we've made some headway, and we're going to make more headway. Right? So celebrate where you are. So those myths that we've created, or those myths that we've discussed, are some of the most common myths that are out there about letting go. And this is the way that we deal with them. We are aware of them. We educate ourselves. We look at our own thought processes and our own myths that we may have designed. We challenge those myths. We look for a support system that's around us. We've got to give ourselves compassion. We've got to accept that that these myths are out there, and letting go is a part of life. And we celebrate what we do. We celebrate the progress that we make. Amazing. I love it, y'all. So this is actually a great place for us to do our thought of the day. So let's head over there right now. All right. So our thought of the day is this. In order for us to succeed, we've got to be real. We've got to be vulnerable. In order to succeed, we've got to be real. We've got to be vulnerable. What does being real mean? This doesn't mean like showing up on the side of the corner and just telling all your business. That's not what that means. But being real means that you are allowing life, you're allowing the world to interact with you. And you in turn are growing and you're contributing to the world. Let me say that again. So being real means that you are allowing the world to interact with. And as a result, you are changing, you are morphing, you are accepting what the world is giving, and you're producing something to the world, right? There's this back and forth, and you are being authentic in what you do. And vulnerable means that you are willing to feel the emotions that you have that come along with being real. Right? You're allowing those emotions to be there, and you are feeling those emotions. And you are sharing those emotions, not with the whole world, right? Because there are some emotions that you're going to keep with your private group of friends, your private family, your, right? So you're going to do that. But you want to be real. You want to be vulnerable. Because in that space, when you're real and when you're vulnerable, that's where growth happens. That's where connection happens. That's where richness happens. That's where success happens. And that's our thought for today. All right, y'all. Man, this has been, I love this show. I love this episode that we have, because there's so much out there that people hear and people feel that can prevent them from letting go and walking through that process. And when they run into some of these things, then that can discourage them from continuing on. So I want to make sure that you understood those myths, some ways to deal with those myths. And we're going to talk about more. We're going to talk more about some of the things that we've got to let go. We've got the whole month to go. So we've got a few more shows that are coming up on letting go, right? So we want to make sure that you are here, that you are engaged with us on this channel as we grow the community. If you've got family, friends out there who need to know this information, and you know that they're struggling with some issues that they may have about letting go of some things, let them know that we're doing this, and I'll have to put that on in a playlist that we'll do on the channel so they can get directly to it. But this one, you can go back to the last one, and this is the third in this episode that we've done. I want to thank you for coming through. Thank you for being there. If you're out there, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and let us know that you are in the community. If you've not subscribed already, go ahead and do that on the YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button and then hitting the notification bell so that you will be alerted about videos that we put up and new things that we do. And then you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all of our social media platforms. Go ahead also and get to the website. If you want to sign up for the waiting list for our Sugar Busters, go ahead and do that, and then you'll see all the other offerings that we have. Glad you're here. This is Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level, and create the life you've always wanted. We'll see you next week. Good night. If I can get to my bye-bye. Here you go.